Morning all, and welcome to day 5 of my confidence on camera challenge. Today we're going to talk about travel. So we're done with work for the time being. We could talk about travel and my favourite place to go. I've been really fortunate. I've been to all sorts of different places in my time. Most of my childhood holidays were in Scotland, and I love it up there. I've been to Nepal. I've trekked the Himalayas when I was younger through Scouts, which is a phenomenal experience. But my absolute favourite place to go, a place I've been many times, is Australia. The first time I went to Australia was when I worked in the fitness industry. I got this opportunity to be a intern strength and conditioning coach for England Rugby League during the World Cup, and I went over there, and I was meant to work with England, but they got knocked out at the World Cup earlier than expected, so that didn't happen. But I went anyway, and I went to the final. That was 2008. So it was the first time I went. I went to Brisbane on the Gold Coast. The second time I went to Australia, I went to Sydney for New Year with one of my best friends, Gina. We went over for New Year a week before. We stayed a few days afterwards, and then I've got another really good friend of mine, Ollie. He lives in Perth, moved there straight after university, and we flew via Perth on the way back to the UK and stayed there for a week or so to see Ollie. And whilst we were there, Ollie asked Gina and I to be joint best men at his wedding later that year. So this is 2011 to 2012 New Year period. He asked us to be joint best men at his wedding. So we of course said yeah, that's it. Yeah, we'd love to. We'd be honoured. When's the wedding? And they said it's in November. It's brilliant. It's not cheap. It's not cheap. So we of course we did it. We saved and we did it, and we went back for my third time. In fact, third time for his third time as well. Actually, he did both the trips prior, and went for our third time, November 2012. Went to Perth, and we were there for his wedding. We were joint best men at his wedding. An amazing occasion, absolutely amazing occasion. I was honoured to be there and to be part of it. And then the last time I went was far too long ago. It was 10 years ago this year. And I went back to Perth, and I did Ironman Western Australia, which is is in Busselton, which is sort of the south, sort of really far down, so not far off the southwest corner of Australia. Yeah, and I went over and did that, and I went there for 4.5 weeks. Because Ollie's got a house over there, I could do it relatively cheaply, which is amazing, and it was one of the best things I've ever done, and a long day, an incredibly long day. For those who aren't aware, an Ironman is a long distance triathlon, a 2.4 mile swim, a 112 mile bike ride, and then a marathon to finish, a 26.2 mile run, one after the other, and you got 16 hours to complete it. And I did it in 14 hours 11 minutes. We'll probably get to that story another time throughout the challenge, I'm sure. I talk about it all the time. I'm a broken record. But they're the 4 times I've been to Australia. Through my work in Wellbeing Conversations that I went through yesterday, it's all, the basis of that is in psychological safety. Now, Western Australia in particular have released loads of new laws recently, which are around the right to psychologically safe workplaces. So I'm hoping that at some point over the next 12 months, maybe a little bit longer, I'm hoping I can get some work over there so I can go back and expense it, which would be very helpful. But yeah, that's my experience of a whistle-stop tour of my experience of Australia. If there's anything about Australia and my experience that you'd like to know, bang in comments below. I'm always happy to help it. I'm always happy to share that, because I've got loads of cool stories over there. But yeah, we'll call it a day there. Nice, relatively short one today. Cheers, guys. See you tomorrow.